Shellee, I'm so looking forward to this conversation. Thank you for being here.
I am really looking forward to it as well. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's my pleasure. So let's just start with the big question. How are you saying yes to yourself in this season?
I'm pretty fortunate in that I have some great mentors who remind me that yes is important. And I
Hmm.
believe somebody in everybody's life needs a yes person. So my mentor's really good, and my yes is traveling. That's how I regroup and how I stay focused on my future. And so I've got a couple of great trips coming up. And so, yes, I'm saying yes.
Oh, I love that so much. And I could not agree more about travel.
Mm,
It's so for me, I, I travel obviously personally, but I also travel professionally. I lead culinary trips to France for solo female travelers,
oh, yeah.
and it's so fun. And I love just the pattern interrupt
Mm,
that these trips provide, not
sure.
only for my client, but for me as well.
Mm,
And it's just beautiful to be in a new, inspiring place without the day to day of chores. I was telling you that I own a bed and breakfast and it's on a small flower farm. So there are chores when I'm here, which I'm delighted to do because I'm delighted to live here. And it's also really nice to
sure.
not have to do them when I'm traveling.
Love it. Most of my,
What?
I
Yeah.
do a lot of service work. So I've been to Africa 4 times. I've actually been to 91 countries. So
Wow.
I say yes a lot.
I love that. Yes.
Yeah,
Tell me about you do work in Uganda. Is that correct?
yes, that is correct. So, briefly, how it all got started is when my son was going through the college planning process, he said he wanted to be a doctor at eighth grade. And I was concerned, did he want to be a doctor for the DR or truly did he have a heart to serve?
Sure.
And so, the summer going into his senior year, I explained to him, I'm still not totally convinced that you should spend the big portion of your life going to medical school, and that he needed to prove to me and to the world that he had the heart to serve. Long story short, it was my first trip to Africa. He gave me 2 weeks of his summer and he said, I can take him anywhere in the world. And so I took him to the war slums in Mathare, Kenya.
Wow.
And we lived with a Swahili family, and it was life-changing for both of us. We both thought that we were going there to help, right? Like a true
Yep.
Westerner. What
Right.
we found out is the people have nothing and they're incredibly happy, and that we take so much for granted.
Mhm.
So that trip not only convinced me and him, but his essay got him into 7 colleges and he went to Harvard pre-med, fully paid for. So travel is pretty impressive, and service is so powerful if your child doesn't know what they want to do, where they want to go. Basically, it's their way of giving, but also relaxing into what are they really good at.
Oh my gosh, I love everything about that story. I have so many questions. I have spent time in Kenya as well. I love it there. I am on the board of a nonprofit in Malindi,
Okay.
and that it is a magical place. And
Mm,
you are right, the joy that, and which, we know is an inside job,
mm,
but it is for a Westerner surprising and remarkable to witness the level of joy comparative to the level of possessions.
mhm.
It's really remarkable. I love that you had the forethought and the decision making power as well to provide that whole experience. And of course, we know from your bio why you mentioned the college essay and mentioned getting into school, but I would love to hear how that all started, the work that you do, and My daughter is only 11, so I know I'll just blink and we'll be in college application season as well. And I have heard and witnessed from different friends the eye roll that the essays can be for the mom who is trying to make the child write the essay. So I feel like you are definitely onto something, and also that it will be in great service to our listeners.
I would love to share. And honestly, Wendy, it happened for me right around when my son was 11. We started touring. Actually, I remember it well. We were in Boston and we were doing the Mayflower. We were doing all of the Boston stuff. And I said, while we're here, I think we should see MIT and Harvard. And my son's like, what is that? Like, I've never heard of such a thing. And I said, well, I think you're going to like it. And, we take our kids to museums, to art galleries, to, science places. And yet we miss the opportunity of what you can do at a college. So I took him to Harvard and we walked on the main campus. And all I remember is like, this is like Harry Potter live.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. Oh
And he
my
was
gosh.
so in awe that his books had come. And then we took him into the commons where they had lunch, and it literally is Hogwarts. Like it is mind blowing. And so it turned into a very magical time for us because we walked around, we had conversations, we talked about the uniqueness of what college and how it's different. And I never intended for Harvard to be the dream school. It was just another college tour. We went on MIT and he didn't feel the same way. So it was like, okay. So, fast forward, what ended up happening is I said yes when he said, Mom, will you help me? And in eighth grade, I went back to school, his eighth grade, not mine. I went
Mhm.
back to school and I got my master's degree. And then I became a certified independent college strategist. And then I started touring 25 colleges a semester. And he did what I recommended. I paused there, right? Parents, because I have 4 kids, I know that is not always the case. He did what I recommended, and he had an incredible application season because I helped him to truly lean in on who is he, what matters to him, and show proof of concept. And that opened up so many doors. He got a full ride at USC, Harvard matched it. He graduated in 4 years, completely debt free, went on to UC San Diego, only accumulated 30,000 for medical school, is now an orthopedic surgeon at UCLA with 30,000 total college debt. So
That's amazing.
he'll have that done. Yeah.
Wow.
And that's all from saying yes from my son who says, "Can you help me?" And me looking for support and figuring out that the high school counselors, they're so burdened. They're
Right.
wonderful people, but they have mental illness, they have truancy, they have a lot of other stuff that they need to handle. And anytime you have a child who's doing well, they're
Yeah.
like, "You're fine, you don't need us." And I'm like, "No, no, no, we do. We really do."
Right.
That's when I went and I asked for help, and they just said that there was really nothing they could do for what he wanted to do. His high school had never had an Ivy League student ever in 25 years.
Wow.
So I was pioneering for them this whole platform, and they've had since, but he was the first student. And, I remember at his graduation, I was sitting in the front row, of course, very proud, like any other parent. And I was sitting next to a young man I'd never met before. And when my son was giving his salutatorian speech, his class, I think, was right close to like 4,000 students. It was very
Wow.
large. And the young man looks over and he goes, "Dude, I didn't even know that kid was smart." And I laughed. I'm like, well, I haven't been called dude. That was kind of interesting.
Right.
But I'm like, he was so under the radar. He
Mm.
wasn't the stressed out, overwhelmed, overburdened child. He was living the life of ASB and soccer and water polo. And I mean, he did everything and he fully enjoyed his 4 years. So I like to encourage parents don't get caught up in what social media is putting out there. Last year, our students earned over $10.2 million in scholarships. There's so much money, there's so much opportunity. I just really want to encourage parents to start as soon as you can and start to position what is your child good at? What do they advocate for? And how are they going to prove it?
Oh my gosh, this is so brilliant. I'm sorry for the pause. I forgot that I was hosting a podcast and not listening to a podcast because I'm like, oh, okay. My daughter is a fashion designer. She wants to go to art school and fashion design, and she wants to be in Paris. And I love that she's known that since she was 8 or 9. So that's really great. But I also would like to, before I ask you more questions about his experience, I just want to acknowledge and reflect back to you. Great job, Mom.
Ah, thanks. He did the hard work.
But you created an environment where his work was seen and heard and celebrated and supported. And it is totally a team effort of everybody that lives in your house. But good job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
What were you going to say? I don't want to.
I was just going to say, he just turned 31 yesterday. And when I was talking to my mom, right, we always brag to our parents. We don't like to brag to other people, but to our parents or sisters, brothers, we're like, ah. And I said, how did I get so lucky? And she
Yeah.
reminds me there was no luck involved. It was good old fashioned love, unconditionally, guide with a heart. And yes, am I proud? For sure. He's getting married May of next year. And it makes me really proud to be like, I know he's going to be a good husband and a good father. It's just such an awesome feeling. And I want to encourage parents because if you have teenagers, you're in the thick of it, right? My oldest is 31, went to Harvard. My second is 26, went to University of Alabama, and she's now a registered nurse. My third is 21. He went to San Francisco State. And my fourth graduates this year from the Czech Republic of Prague.
Wow.
Yeah. So Paris, Prague, pretty
Right.
awesome.
Amazing. Oh my goodness. I love this so much, and I see you in appreciating the great kids that you have because I mean, it's true. When I think about Amelia, she's a unicorn. I'm so happy to be her mom, and she's totally supposed to be my daughter. And like I think she brings 99% of that unicornness to the table, but there is something to the environment that we foster in our homes, and you are clearly doing it well because it wasn't a one-off. All four of your kids are doing so well, which is really great. And I'm happy that you talk about it. And I'm happy that you have a podcast. And I'm happy that you are sharing this wealth of knowledge as well as practical experience times four with the world. This is so beautiful. So how do the kids, your children specifically, but how were they different, or did they all kind of have a similar experience to your son?
They were all incredibly different. And it's interesting. I started to reflect while you were talking about your daughter as the unicorn. And I remember I lost a bet to my son. And the bet was this. He said, Mom, if I graduate from Harvard in 4 years, pre-med, with at least, minimal B's, will you write a book to help people do this? And when
Awesome.
he crossed the stage at Harvard and handed me the diploma, he looked and he says, Mom, where's the book? And I'm like, oh, I thought we were kidding. He goes, does it look like we're kidding? And I'm like, so I wrote a book for the next 3 months. I dug in. And then 7 years later, last year, I traveled for 6 weeks in Europe and I wrote my second best-selling book.
Amazing.
again, those were just opportunities to say yes. But here's the unique part about my children. My firstborn, he could have raised himself. Like he was just one of those firstborn that was just always easy. And that's probably why I had a second one. And then my second one, she is the most tenacious, determined young lady. She fought for all her A's and B's. Like it wasn't really easy, but she fought for it. And she's living her dream of being a nurse. And so I found that out when we were in Peru. I took her to an orphanage there and she was cleaning faces and hands, and I just couldn't do it. And I knew there was something special about that. And she's in the pediatric emergency room at Chalk. And
Mm.
so she still loves the little people who are not doing well. And my third is my stepson. And he came to me at the beginning of his freshman year in high school. So I got him through high school. And the beauty is, he is such a laid back, chill, just can't get him riled up kind of young man. And he's going into paramedic school
Mm.
after he got his 4-year degree because he has found also a love of helping others.
Yeah.
And then my stepdaughter, she said, well, he did Harvard and she did Alabama and he did San Francisco State. I'm going to Europe. And I'm like, what?
So
And it
great.
took a lot of convincing to get her father to buy in on that one because she left when she was 17. And she's graduating this June with a dual US and European international business degree. And can't be, I mean, we just feel so proud that she was able to navigate that. She'll graduate from college at 20 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, amazing.
Wow. That's
And all
so
debt free. Yeah.
amazing. And how did she do that?
So in Europe, this is a beauty for all of
Yeah.
you
It's like,
who
why are
like
we
it.
here? Yes.
Yeah. Yes, this is a beauty. So when we had the discussion of I will help you, but we're only going to go to a school that we get a return on investment. That was our motto. It wasn't that they had to go for free. They had to prove that it would be a good return on the education. We were not going to college just for fun, is basically what I was teaching them. And so when she started doing her research, she just wasn't finding what she was looking for, and that is an entrepreneur spirit of experiencing life. She just felt like college was going to be another 4 years and that she didn't really want to do that again. She wanted to travel, but she knew I wouldn't pay if she just traveled. And so we had to do a little negotiations. And we started doing some deep dive research. And because of the amount that I travel, I was able to explain, Cambridge and Oxford and, starting to kind of guide her into let's look outside of what everybody else is doing. And sure enough, she found a beautiful, very small English taught school. So that's not in Prague, Czech. And she has had the most amazing experience. So it's $20,000 total,
Oh my gosh.
total.
Wow.
Yes. So when I say that anybody can truly, she's paying for it by doing it on her summers because that was our agreement. And so she is putting herself through college, which means anybody can do it.
Mhm.
And she's touring all of these different countries while she's there learning. It's a beautiful opportunity for the right, you couldn't do it if you wanted to be a doctor in the US or, a lawyer. Like there's certain things that it doesn't make sense for, but like a designer or an artist or an entrepreneur and there's so much, right? And Cambridge and Oxford have the most incredible opportunities for those people who do want a traditional European education.
Sure.
So we started University Ready, which is our international division, about 4 months ago. And it's been a huge hit because a lot of students who were going to take a gap year because they didn't want to go right into college have found out that they can really start college, get it done while traveling the world. It's kind of the best of both worlds, and they can get student support, scholarships to do it. So it really can be quite an amazing opportunity.
Oh my gosh, this is so great. My mind is open and I am so delighted to hear all of this. Now, you mentioned starting as early as possible. What does that look like for the middle schooler, for because I feel like what I know, which forgive me that I don't know much about this, but that it's, when they're soft the summer before their junior year, they're starting the college tours, but you're suggesting doing things even earlier than this.
Yeah, so what I recommend to families is really make college just part of a conversation, not a
Mhm.
stressful big deal.
Yeah.
And that can start as early as when they're curious. For my kids, it was in 5th grade. They had a lot of curious questions, and we just kind of would you can download an app to your phone, you can put in your earbuds, you can walk around any campus without an appointment and just have a G-rated conversation about what college could be like. And then it gets real. In middle school is when we start students. That's the youngest we will pull them into the program. If they're mature enough, if they are still a little squirrely and they're not ready to really start talking about who they are, what matters to them, then we give it a little bit more time. The ultimate time, if there's a perfect time, listeners, it's when they promote from 8th grade because they haven't made any mistakes. Your college application starts the day you promote from 8th grade. So
Okay.
that summer going into high school is the most underutilized summer, period, right? They can start applying to scholarships at that point for college. You do not need to wait. So, starting early and having a strategy and a plan, right? We have some students who have taken the SAT or the ACT their freshman year, get a perfect score, and they're done.
Wow.
As soon as your student finishes Algebra 2, it's time to start looking at testing. So, back gone are the days that everybody did it their junior year and everybody just applied to like one or two schools and typed it, used whiteout, put a stamp on it. Like we talk to our students about that now and they look at us cross-eyed, like a typewriter. Like I think I've seen one of those. Is that like one of those rotary dial telephones? Like they
Exactly.
just don't get it. And so we introduce it, but we don't talk about where do you want to go? What do you want to
Mhm.
major in? We talk about where would you like to serve your community? What are your gifts and your talents? My second one, she was a fashionista. We thought she was going to go fashion design. And what we found out is that was all she knew. It wasn't that that was really her long-term plan. She
Mhm.
just loved clothes. She was a typical just fashionista. So for her, she wanted to, put nail polish on the elderly. She wanted to make pillowcases into pretty little dresses and send them all over the world. And she had these really cool, fun ideas, which what she was saying is, I want to help these people.
Mhm.
And once we started figuring out and we put her in places where she could gently help, the smile, the feeling of accomplishment was so massive for her that she just, "Can we do it again? Can we do it again?" And before you knew it, we figured out that she wanted to do a career that served other people, and nursing was absolutely the best fit for her.
Oh, I love that so much. What is the program?
Okay. We have 7 different offerings. So
Awesome.
I'm gonna kind of talk about it by age group because
Okay.
there are different situations. The entire program is an all-inclusive program, which means if you start from middle school, we take you until you leave for college. It's an entire comprehensive plan. Some people don't find us till their sophomore year, their junior year, their senior year, so we can start them at any point. If we start, say, freshman year, we can go gentle and slow over 4 years. If we start their senior year, we have to fire hose it and hope they're
Right.
mature enough to hold on. So it really is about what is the best fit, and every child's different. So we always have to say, you know your child. But here's what we're trying to help people understand is colleges are looking to figure out who is your child, what matters to them, and what have they done about it.
Mm.
Everybody wants to know, give me just the secrets of how your son did it. And here is the secrets, parents. Take as much challenging coursework as they can do well in. Don't have them take a bunch of AP, IB, or dual enrollment and get C's. That's not what you're trying to accomplish. Don't kill them. If they are not that student, don't have them take a zillion AP classes because it's going to hurt them, hurt their personality, hurt their desire to be educated. You have to really be strategic of challenging them, but not over challenging them. Number two, so that's their GPA. Number two is their test scores. Colleges want to see that their test scores match their GPA.
Mm.
Okay. Because if a student has a high GPA and low test score, they're going to assume your school gives easy A's. That's
Oh,
what
sure.
you want
Okay.
to do.
Not that you have some sort of testing anxiety or something.
They could, they could go there. But if you have a high test score and an average GPA, now they're thinking smart, lazy student. So really a GPA and a test score that is around the same playing field, that is what you want. After that, it's community service hours that they're passionate about. Parents, I learned the hard way with my four. I had a zillion great ideas, but they were mom's ideas, and they would be no way, Jose, right? As soon as I paid my consultant to tell my children, here are some great ideas, they were like, those are amazing. Oh, yes, I would love to do that. So just be mindful. You may have a lot of great ideas and they just keep saying no to you. It just is we're the one who says, is your homework done? Is your chores done? And they just hear want, want, want. So
Right.
maybe have somebody else pitch that to them. The thing after that is their extracurriculars. What are they doing when they're not in school? Are they playing on the computer? Are they playing on Nintendo? Are they out playing a sport, a band? What are they doing? Colleges are looking for students who are looking to make themselves better. So if they're spending hours and hours on computer games, right? Unless they're going into engineer computer games, probably not going to help them.
Right.
After that, it's leadership. Colleges want to see students who lead others to create that change, right? College is a business. They want your leader to come and make their school better. So when they graduate, they're going to tell what an amazing school experience that was. And then they keep going.
Right.
Then it's letters of recommendation. And then it's their essay. That's what it takes to get into a top tier school and graduate without debt. So that's the secret sauce. But all of it really is about helping your child be the best version of them. That's it. So when people say, oh, we just want to know what it takes to get into Caltech, that's the wrong approach. The right approach is, how do we help your child be the very best they can be and then find the best fit school?
Right.
Totally
It-
different plan.
It's so beautiful. And I love the premise and I love the practice. How have you found the re-education of the parent to this model?
I tend to get second children because they find it out the hard way, to be
Yeah.
quite honest. If you're a parent of your firstborn and you think that it's like it was when you went, unfortunately, it's going to be painful. Painful for your child, painful for you, a bit frustrating. And that's why I tend to get a second child because they don't want that again. It's no fun when you're battling your teenager because they're going to have a choice to come back for Thanksgiving or not.
Hmm.
And if their senior year is a bunch of battles, the chances of them wanting to come back are going to be a lot less. So I often tell families, this is their final 4 years with you. It it needs to be something that is going to keep you close and keep them wanting to be in your presence. We hire a realtor to sell our home. We
Hmm.
hire a CPA to do our taxes. This is the opportunity for, if you don't know what you're doing, which is probably most of us, because every 4 years college admissions change.
Oh,
So it's one of those things. hiring a professional is going to save your relationship and save your pocketbook.
Right. How is the University Ready program different? And are you focusing in just some countries, or have you found some sort of formula that translates?
So, University Ready was started because I was getting a lot of frustration here in the US. And similar to my fourth child, they were just frustrated. They were upset that they couldn't get a good education for what they could afford in the US. And so that's how we started the program, was looking for opportunities that we couldn't find in the US. And so it really comes down to helping the family get clarity. Is that idea a good fit? Not every teenager can leave home and live in another country, right?
Right.
That is not for every child. But there's a lot of them, including me, that I would have loved that, but there was no opportunity for me to do that. So University Ready is unique in that we help students here in the US get a US and European degree at one education. Okay. So
Oh,
like AAU, American Anglo University, where my daughter's at, they get both a US degree and a European degree. So that means if she was to stay in Europe, she would have that diploma, and if she comes back, which she is, she will have that US diploma. That is the best of both worlds because now they're protected whatever way they want to go. The thing that I'm finding with the students who are going in through University Ready is they're coming back to the US and they're getting jobs much easier because they're more mature.
mhm,
They have had a great life experience to talk about in interviews.
right.
And so it's being really well received.
Yeah,
So I help students from here go there and from students there go here. And it doesn't, I've helped students from India, from China, from Switzerland. I mean, it really is an opportunity for any student to go either direction. And first, we help them to get clarity about their core values, their gifts, their talents, their advocacy. Because if they can't convince me that they're ready, they're not going to convince their parent. So we
sure.
have to help them see if they are university ready.
How is the I have so many questions. Sorry, this is not how our normal conversations go. It's just like, "Oh my gosh, and then this, and oh, I love that." But I feel like now that I have you, let me ask you some questions.
Absolutely.
How does this work for a child that's not going through a traditional educational model pre-college, pre-university?
So it could be homeschool, it can be
Mhm,
a blend of, it can be, they have specialty schools, they have charter schools. There's so many opportunities right now for the best education. It's amazing. We still have to prepare them for what's ahead.
mhm,
So let's just take homeschool because there's a beautiful group of homeschoolers. And what we have learned is we need to highlight the things that make them unique and really help them to be competitive. The challenge of being homeschooled is you don't have a class ranking, right?
sure.
You don't have, in many accounts, a GPA
Mhm,
that's of that same caliber. But what you could have is an AA degree in college before you graduate from high school. Like
right.
so many things. And we help students every single path. So I've seen the benefits and how we highlight it. And I've also seen some challenges that it's hard to compete when you don't have the same opportunity, such as AP, dual enrollment, some of those type of things. Most families don't realize you don't have to take an AP class to pass an AP exam. That's huge. That will save you thousands of dollars. So for homeschoolers who are moving at a faster clip, which is pretty common, throw a couple of AP tests in there and you are absolutely going to stand out. So it's just a different strategy. It has to still have a strategy, but
For sure.
there's some unique opportunities and challenges. And so we'd like students to be aware and they can build around it and absolutely get to the same opportunities.
I love that. That's so helpful. Thank you. Where do you see, well, let me ask you this. So you, how long have you been, how long sorry, and sorry, Shannon, my producer, all my words just fell out of my brain. When did you start College Ready? And what do you see? I mean, obviously you've just added University Ready. Like, what is the trajectory?
So, first, College Ready was just saying yes to my firstborn. Let's get real.
I love
And
it.
since then, I've said yes to thousands of other people's children. I've been doing this 17 years.
Amazing.
I'm going on my 18th application season, and people are like, I didn't even enjoy that the first time. So it really is a labor of love. I really feel like I get to make these teenagers' lives just that much better. My core value, my gift is inspiration.
Yeah.
And so for me to be able to inspire a teenager to live their best life is like I get to do this every day and somebody's going to pay me. Like it's mind-blowing,
Right.
right?
It's legit. And
Yeah.
that's why I ask because you are so beautiful. Your energy is so inviting to be around that I just didn't know if you've only been doing this for a few years. So I love that it has this trajectory, but also it is continuing to hone and develop and highlight who you are.
And I think it comes with my passion.
Yeah.
When we started empowereducation.world, and I would encourage your families to look it up. It is a nonprofit we started 2 years ago, of my opportunity when I came home from Kenya my fourth time. Actually, I was in Uganda, and I sat next to an attorney, and he was a women's advocate. Totally another yes.
Yeah.
He says to me, what do you do? And I explained, and he's like, wow, that sounds amazing. You get really excited. And I'm like, I love what I do. And I said, what do you do? And he says, well, I'm trying to help children who walk 3 hours to school and walk 3 hours home get meals and to be able to get educated. I'm like, what do you mean? He says, well, when a young girl becomes a woman, she's no longer clean and she can no longer attend school. And I mean, whoa, like it hit
Right.
me like a lightning bolt.
Yeah.
And I said, that's unacceptable. What can I
Hmm.
do? And he said, well, 6,000 US dollars can build us a school. And I said, you'll have a check in the mail next week.
Right.
That was
That's
it.
amazing.
Yeah. So for $6,000, we have we've now raised over 32,000. We
Amazing.
have built two schools, 850 kids are now being educated. And it is just, I never considered myself Oprah. Like that was never me. But I'm thinking in the US, what does $6,000 buy us?
Right. Nothing.
It's really nothing. And we're changing lives. And so people, please, your listeners, go to empowereducation.world. There's no cost to joining us. There's 54 students. It's student led. It's a wonderful opportunity for your child to see how other children are changing lives and a great opportunity for them to find their passion and live their purpose.
Wow. Okay. So how would someone here in the US interact with Empower?
So what we do is every Sunday evening from 5 to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we log in and we get to speak with Yona, who's the Ugandan on the other side of the Zoom call. He is the attorney, the women's advocate that I originally started with. He's now our partner. And he inspires these children like nobody else. He tells them he videotapes, he shows that the food and the weight gain, and he shows the garden that they've
Mm,
I mean, he brings Africa to them, and it's safe and it's in awe and it's fun, and he connects two worlds. And so any child who's in middle school or high school can log in. All they have to do is let me know. Go to collegereadyplan.info.
okay.
I will share that link. We are protective because they are under 18. So we do make sure that everybody coming into the room is
Sure. Who they
accountable.
say they are, right?
Yes. And so it's our protection for these children and what they're doing. So this year, the two presidents of this organization were just honored as the best nonprofit in Orange County, California.
Amazing.
They were awarded, they were gifted. It was just like a dream come true. I was sitting back way more proud than if I was on stage, right? I was like, these kids have changed their life forever. At 18 years old, they have won gold awards. They've done leadership certifications. They have made an impact. And they
Wow.
both got into UCLA.
Yay. Oh, that's so amazing. Oh my
It's just been
gosh.
a wonderful experience. So these are the things that, we call it college ready, but it's life ready.
Right.
And nobody understood when I wanted to call it life ready. So we went down this path. Now we're university ready. Maybe we will have a life ready as well. So, but that is our joy, is helping these families navigate this, because the college application is going to ask on the Common App for 10 activities, honors, and awards. On the University of California app, it's 20.
Wow.
So if you're waiting till your junior year, you're not going to be able to bounce back and compete, right?
Right.
We want children to pick their school and get in and out without debt. And in order to do that, we need a runway. We can't just jump off a cliff and hope somebody catches us, right? So
Right.
this is how we're doing it. We're empowering children, young children, teenagers to figure out who they are. Because once they figure that out, they're so confident. I know what I want to do. Now I just need the path to get there.
Wow. It's so great. That leads me to the question, how do they graduate without debt?
Yeah. So the important thing to think about is this: the student needs to be the very best they can be. In other words, if they're getting all A's in easy classes, not honors, not challenging ones, that's not connected to dollars, right?
Right.
If they are getting AP, IB, dual enrollment, and they're showing that they are a strong student, it's just like anything else. Think about your work, parents. When you go to work and you sit at your desk and you play on your phone and you don't do very much, are you going to get a raise? No, you're going to get fired.
Right.
If you come to work early, you create amazing things for your company, you leave a little late, you're going to get a big old bonus. Same exact concept here. Student works hard, student gets paid for it. They start to fight over the student. When my son got a full ride to USC, Harvard said, "But wait, we wanted him." And I said, "Well, you didn't offer us a full ride." And they go, "Well, now we will."
Oh,
Okay, let's do
okay.
that. So that's important. The second piece, this is probably the most important piece: picking the right colleges for the right student.
Mm.
I have students, when I ask them, where do you want to go to college? And they'll say, "Oh, UC Santa Barbara. Have you seen the view from the dorm rooms?" And I'm like, "Yes, it's amazing, but why do you want to go there?" And they go, "I just told you."
Mm.
And I'm like, get you. Okay. So that's a problem, because that's not how we find the best fit school. It's
Right.
not a football team, it's not a basketball team. It is, what is the academic, social, and financial fit? So when you have a solid college list that has reach schools, comfort schools, and safety schools, and you do financial negotiations and reconsiderations, and you drive down your student aid index and increase your FAFSA support, ding, 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 that's where the money is at.
Right. Right.
Okay, so it really is not a thing, it's a strategy.
Sure.
That is how they do it.
I love that. And I love that you are the key and the guide to that whole practice. And so if someone is coming in at eighth grade and they're with you. So for 5 years, if they're in eighth grade, right? So what does that look like? I mean, I'm assuming people don't have to be in Orange County to work with you, right? So they're working, what does that relationship look like?
Sure. So first, you're absolutely right. We help students all over the world. Um, and getting my son into Harvard, living in Orange County was a true testament to you don't have to live
Yes.
next to the school. So I always like parents to realize you don't need to pick a college consultant in your hometown.
Right.
It's not necessary. So now how it works. First thing I'd recommend for any family who is, wow, I want to get a jump start on this. That was me. Like, I want to
Yeah.
consume, right? I need more of this. Go to my website, collegereadyplan.com, collegereadyplan.com. And on there, I have a ton of free resources. I mean, podcasts and blogs and webinars. And I mean, I give until I can't.
Yes, you do.
Then, if you're like, I still need more, I have two books, two best-selling books on Amazon. The first one is How to Send Your Student to College Without Losing Your Mind or Your Money.
Perfect.
And the second one is The College Admissions Plan Simplified. You can start those right now, parents, and they're one chapter pickup at a time. You can read a chapter, put it down. A week later, pick up another chapter, put it down. It's a workbook for parents on many things that have to do with college academically, socially, and financially. Now, when it comes to, all right, I'm ready for support, we start bringing on students as young as seventh grade and all the way through.
Okay.
What does that look like? Well, when they are in middle school, they can sign up for the entire program. That would be seventh grade all the way through to college and anywhere in between. They can sign up as a small group. They can sign up as a one-to-one. They can sign up as a do it themselves with guidance. They can sign up for an hour. We literally have every opportunity. I have a program going right now for the summer called Passion with a Purpose, and that is where I guide your child to find their passion and live their purpose. And that program is $497 in total.
Brilliant.
So you can be working that with your child this summer as young as you want. You don't have to be any particular age. And so some people love getting a jump start. I have families who do that in second grade, third grade because
Hmm.
they want to find their passion and live their purpose.
Right.
Think about if what life would be like if all of us at 18 did 200 service hours for another person, our world would be so different.
Yeah,
And that
for
is my
sure.
mission, right?
Which that I just have a quick question about community service. So does that have to be like, are there different areas that it counts more, or is it just doing something for another human who's gonna sign their name on the paper and say, yes, you did it?
Sure. We like to say all service is good, but here's what
Yes.
colleges say. Okay. Good is you sign up and show up and they sign your paper. That
Hmm.
could be volunteering at church, it could be feeding the homeless, it could be tutoring. That's good. Colleges are not going to go, whoa, Wendy,
Right.
dude, this is amazing, right?
Yes.
They're going to be like, oh, that's nice, check, right?
Hmm.
Better is when your child, such as your daughter, does something with fashion.
Yeah.
Because now all of a sudden she's like, can we? Can we? Can we? Can we? And that's a brilliant place. You're teaching them
Yeah.
the love of service.
Yeah.
So that's better. So what's best? Best is an international opportunity where you're leading others to see the change you wish to see in the world.
Perfect.
That's the best there is. You haven't met them.
Yeah.
You see a need. You have a heart to help. You do what you're passionate about to create a better change for them. It's a trifecta win-win-win.
Yes.
And colleges are like, that's impressive.
Right.
So the challenge is not every family can do this on their own.
Sure.
It takes a true entrepreneur's mind to figure this out. I'm not going to lie, parents. I've started 7 businesses. I create little businesses for these kids. And it's just my playground. I
Right.
love to help build passion with purpose projects. Like it's my passion. And if it's not yours, it's okay because I have a program for that. You
Right.
don't need to figure this out. I can take you step by step or take your child step by step, and you get to just be their cheerleader and be like, I'm so proud of you. Wow, you're really good at dealing with those kind of people, right? You're supporting, you're encouraging, you're loving on them, and they're gaining confidence and they're feeling really, really good about what they're doing. That's a beautiful thing at any age. I don't think you need to wait.
I love this. Thank you so much, Shellee. I love everything that you're doing, and thank you for being so gracious with all of my questions for you as well. Please tell everyone where they can find and follow you, how they can learn more about what you're doing and enroll their kids and all the good things.
Absolutely. So for your listeners, I'm gifting a 30-minute discovery call to see if they are college ready or university ready. And all they have to do is go to collegereadyplan.info. Collegereadyplan.info. .com is my website.
Right.
And you'll get an opportunity to go right on my calendar, 30 minutes, whatever you want to know, I can help you.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh, that's so generous. Thank
I love
you.
what I get to do. And if I can help another human, I'll do it all day long. And so that's probably the best way. If you're one of those people who are like, I just am not ready yet, I encourage you go buy the book.
Yeah,
Right now for your listeners, my brand new book put out in November is 99 cents.
perfect.
So I don't want this to be too expensive for anybody, right? And so just know if that's too expensive, email me and I will send you a free copy. Okay. I do this to help. My mission is to help 1 million families get into college and graduate debt free.
Oh, I love that mission. That's brilliant.
Yeah. So that's why I do these podcasts. I want people to know it is possible. Don't get caught up in what everybody's saying on social
Uh,
media and the news.
Ever about any topic, please.
Yes. We're seeing some incredible opportunities, tons
Yeah.
of scholarships, opportunities for kids to get into amazing colleges. We're here to support your families.
Thank you. You're so generous and kind, and I know that everything that you're doing is in great service. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. I wish you all the best.
Right back at you.